Hey folks, welcome to the Smackdown podcast. We are your hosts, Kyle and Rob Rude. We're your one-stop shop for all your WWE main card reviews, recaps, pay-per-view predictions. Every now and then we might watch some NXT. Actually, to tell you the truth, we're going to be watching NXT and 205 Live here very soon. AEW. But today we're talking about Smackdown, which aired in Ontario, California this week. Really quick, though, you can always find our show on YouTube. Just look up the Smacked Raw podcast, or on Podbean at smackdrawpod.podbean.com, or you can even find us on Spotify. I'm still very tickled that you got us on Spotify, Rob.
Yeah, buddy.
Man, I love it.
What you guys need to do is subscribe to us on YouTube. When we hit 100 subscribers, we can get a custom URL, and we don't have to say, look us up on YouTube. We can say, go to youtube.com/SmackRawPod.
Right,
Just
right,
saying.
exactly. Like and subscribe, folks. Please, like and subscribe. Even if you're listening to us on Spotify, you can subscribe on YouTube, and you can turn off the notify bell. I'd like for you to have it on, but still, it'd be nice.
Speaking of like and subscribe, my buddy I was telling you about that I went to the Coheed show with, he was like, link me to your YouTube. He's like, I'm not going to listen to your bullshit, but I'll sub.
Yeah, man, just give us a sub. Just start us out, man. Everybody needs a little help when they're starting up, man. I think we're on episode like 14 or 15 now.
This would be number 14. Yes, sir.
Yeah, we totally missed the boat on episode 10. So what's the next episode we make a big deal out of? Say like 25. 25 might be good. I want to do 20.
25 is a good number.
25? Yeah, we'll make a big deal out of 25.
Maybe we'll do a giveaway. I think we should do a giveaway at 25.
Yeah, we'll do a giveaway for 25. We'll figure it out. You can find us on Twitter. Go ahead and hit us up, man. I could definitely use some good wrestling conversation on the Twitter. You can follow me at The Kai Tai Show. And Rob at 2 words can't see me. That is 2 TWO and the letter C. Rob's always a bunch of fun. If you're going to follow either of us, follow Rob, man. He's a ton of fun on Twitter.
I try to be funny, guys. I really do. I try.
Yeah.
And I'm respectable. I just want to throw that out there. I'm a respectable follower. I respect opinions,
Yeah,
y'all.
man. Always playing Peacekeeper, unless we're talking about Bret Hart. But we'll get on that another time. We've done enough of Bret Hart stuff lately. Let's let it cool for a minute. We'll bring it back later on. Well, we're here to talk about Smackdown.
He tapped. I seen it.
Rob, I mean, I know we're a day removed. We're recording this the day after Smackdown aired. Any overall thoughts? Any takeaways?
Raw was a lot better than Smackdown this week by like a super duper long shot. I just want to throw that out there.
Yeah, man. Raw was good, man. Smackdown wasn't horrible.
It wasn't horrible, but it was. I mean, it was Smackdown.
It was yeah. I mean, there wasn't really. I'm trying to think about it. I'd have to go through the notes again. Well, there was one big thing, but it wasn't a serious thing. There was a title change. We'll get into that. But yeah. Other than that, it really just felt like a continuation of Raw storylines. This is the problem with that. With the damn wild card rule, man, is you only get one set of storylines now instead of 2. Well, we'll get into it, man. Once again, Smackdown opened up from Ontario, California. We open up with the New Day coming out, cutting a pretty generic promo, hyping up Kofi Kingston's match at Stomping Grounds with Dolph Ziggler, a cage match. But before that, Ziggler has to get through Xavier Woods, who I'm ready to see Big E start getting some singles matches, man. Because with Xavier's out there, you know what it is they use the other members of the New Day to put over Kofi, so they have to eat the losses, and I don't think they want Big E eating losses. But they don't want him like dominating people either and outshining Kofi, so just kind of puts...
That's valid.
Yeah, it puts Xavier
He could still be injured, though. They might have him out there like still on a bum knee.
Just taking it easy.
Right.
Yeah. That's true. It's a good thing, man. I mean, it was a knee injury, I think it was.
Yeah.
Gotta be careful
that
with
was when
those.
he tried catching Cesaro off the top rope and his knee buckled. So, like...
Yeah, man.
I don't know, man.
As they're hyping the match, Ziggler comes out. Ziggler himself cuts a generic promo. This is the same stuff we've heard over and over. he put a little twist on the whole "it should have been me," and he says he's gonna beat Kofi, and he's like, "It will be me."
I'm so sick of hearing this guy's voice already.
Man,
I truly am. I honestly think that I dislike Dolph Ziggler more than I dislike Baron Corbin. The guy, he's saying the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over. It should have been me. Sorry, bro, it wasn't. You weren't there.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think Ziggler needs to, for a while, move over to like a managerial role or something. Like I don't hate seeing him, but him as a wrestler, he's not bringing anything to the table anymore, man.
Right.
Other than just filler. Like that's all it feels like is he's just padding up Kofi's reign. He's not making it any more like luxurious.
Right.
He's just padding up that reign.
And what gets me is like we said it on the last episode, they've got them booked for like months. I mean, cards subject to change, yes, but they've got them booked for months.
God, I hope it does.
Why?
I don't know.
Why?
Because you got because right now, man.
I mean, I have an event in my area in I think 2 months from now, and they're booked as the main event
here,
and then you have one a month after that. And they're booked as the main event. Like, that's 3 months down the road, man. Come on. What are you doing?
You got all of July and all of August and then half. Yeah, you got about 3 months of this. Nah, I hope not, man. I hope not. We cut to commercial because we realized I thought the match with Xavier was going to be later in the show, but it's actually how we're kicking off the episode.
Valid.
I
do want to ask though too. Well, I want to drop a shout to freaking Big E's facial expressions while Dolph Ziggler was talking. Like if you can go back and watch. Like it caught my eye like so hard.
Big E?
Yes, Big E's facial expressions were absolutely amazing. But I do want to ask. Back in the day, like when I was young, I don't really remember cage matches. Were they always pinfall or submission, or did you have to climb over the top to win?
No, it used to. So they've gradually loosened up, and it varies match to match. But more often than not, now it's pinfall, climb out the cage, or simply walk through the door. Back in the day, it was you had to climb out the cage.
Okay. So I'm not crazy.
And and every now and then, like. Going through the door or the cage itself breaking was like a big thing.
Right.
It wasn't just, because like if you think about a cage match nowadays, it is ridiculously dumb. Because the guy who starts out in the corner next to the cage technically easily could just like hit that cage open and get out. You know what I mean? And the fact that they have to try and make it believable that walking out that door at all times is difficult. Nah, the first big DDT you deliver your opponent,
just run. You're out.
You just run out the door. You know what I mean? So cage matches have lost some of their gravitas, if you ask me. But before the match starts, we get an advertisement. Later on, we're gonna have a moment of bliss with Bayley. But the match kicks off. You got Xavier Woods, Dolph Ziggler. Match was all right. Ziggler was hitting some gnarly super kicks. But shortly into the match, we had interference from Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn come out. We get a big brawl. It allows Xavier Woods to do a big move from off the top rope onto the outside onto Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Very reminiscent of what was it? The main event from Raw, how it was a quick, like almost DQ, but then everyone got tossed out. It was the same thing here. Same thing here, man. Brawl ensues. Ref tosses everybody else. Match gets kind of restarted for a true one-on-one. Ziggler ends up getting away with the win here. Woods did get a couple near falls, but the one move that stood out to me the most is Dolph Ziggler hit a super kick on the ring apron. They were both on the ring apron. Hit it on Xavier, man, and he damn near did a backflip off the ring apron onto the ground. It looked nasty.
Yes.
But at the end of the day, it's Ziggler, which is no surprise, man. It would be horrible to have Ziggler lose to Woods, as bad as that is to say, just days before his pay-per-view. So you kind of saw this coming.
Yes, sir.
Backstage, surprisingly, people are still auditioning for this referee spot. Yeah. You had New Day and Shelton Benjamin all outside talking about how, advantageous it would be to be the special guest ref. they're waiting out Baron Corbin's office. Which, by the way, why the hell does Baron Corbin have an office?
Right.
He's just a member of the roster, dude. He just dresses a little sharp. But
it's probably a boiler room. They just picked a random door and to sign on it.
That's all they did. They just slap a Baron Corbin magnet on the door. Like, this is your room. Thank you. But I liked this. Matt Hardy walks out, and he sees Shelton Benjamin, and he addresses him as Senor Benjamin, which, if you're not familiar, Senor Benjamin was a key character in the Broken saga, Matt Hardy's Broken Universe. It's his father-in-law, Remy Hardy's father. But I caught that because you may not have, because I know you didn't get a chance to watch all the Broken stuff, the silly stuff, very silly, but good. It's like bad movie good. But yeah, so Shelton Benjamin corrects him. He's like, it's Mr. Benjamin. And I was like, nah, you can be Senior Benjamin now. Following that, we got a Moment of Bliss. This was kind of, I don't know, man. I don't know if I liked it or if I disliked it.
I liked it.
You liked it?
I liked it. Alexa burned the shit out of Bailey. Like,
she did, man.
Yes.
It was like a shoot, bro.
Yes. Like,
shoot, man. And peak in NXT, bro.
And
my God.
One thing I'm noticing is Bailey doesn't really have mic skills, man. Like, I didn't really see it.
She doesn't talk trash. She
doesn't talk trash, and she doesn't really have the voice for it. Like, she's got like a calm and collective voice.
She's great as an underdog. Like, she's awesome as an underdog. Like, when she's getting beat up night after night, she can really sell that. But she doesn't sell being top dog that well.
Right. She was looking damn good in them jeans, though. I do want to throw that out there. Just saying.
She looked kind of nice.
But yes, right. Alexa tore her a new one, man. Talking about you peaked at NXT, you're not going any further, and she got her, man.
She was visceral, bro. Yeah, a brawl broke out between the two. Nikki Cross, who, by the way, was accompanying Alexa for the segment. Bailey did try to tell Nikki you're being used, but she didn't really give any compelling evidence. You know, which all you'd have to do is just run a clip of like Mickie James and everyone else Alexa Bliss has turned on over the last couple of years. But regardless, she was just like, yeah, she's gonna turn on you, she's using you. But they end up brawling. Nikki trying to pull Bailey off. She does. Alexa cheap shots Bailey, and then you see this kind of confusing look on Nikki's face. She's not sure if she's proud of what she was just part of. You know, but yeah, they all look good in that. And speaking of looking good, Zelina Vega was backstage. Boy, I don't know what she was wearing, but I'm surprised that was allowed on TV. I don't know, man. It's not so. The segment's not so much about what she was wearing, but that was the first thing that caught my eye. Man.
Right.
But she's back there. They're pushing that Apollo Crews angle a little bit further. Apollo's talking to her, saying, hey, I'm trying to find Andrade. I want this match. I ain't forgot about him. You know, she distracts him by coyly flirting with him. As he's backing off from her flirting attempts, he gets jumped by Andrade. My favorite part of this whole thing, though, was damn Chad Gable in the back, still just taking notes. I'm assuming on Apollo Crews. Yeah, that's Chad Gable, man.
Oh, man. Like, I didn't even realize that was Chad Gable. Like, my daughter was like, oh, that's Cable Guy. Because his freaking shirt said Gable. I thought it said Cable. Even my daughter was like, oh, that's the Cable Guy.
No, his little stick as he pops up, I think, with just Apollo Crews, I want to say.
Wow, okay.
Anytime Apollo Crews is doing something, they pan over. There's Chad Gable taking notes. I bet you they're going to start up another American Alpha tag team is what it's going to be. Because this is similar to what happened in NXT with him. Except in NXT, he wasn't just silently taking notes. What's his name? Kurt Angle's son. God dang it, man. It's going to kill me. It's going to kill me if I can't remember this. Let me see here. Let me see. I apologize, folks. I am not a professional journalist.
I didn't even know Kurt Angle had a son.
It was a kayfabe thing. So, yeah, because it took place last year. Jason Jordan. There we go. He's not on TV now because he had a really bad injury.
Ooh,
but NXT, Jason Jordan was almost like a blue chip, but he kept losing. This dude looks for one, his physique's insanely good. He's a top-notch wrestler. He kept losing, and Gable kind of would just like coyly follow him around, and eventually he just like irritated him to the point where he convinced him to form a tag team, and they created an amazing tag team. So I'm calling it now, man. I bet they're setting up American Alpha 2.0 with this. I bet that's where all the notes are for. Because it'd be a stupid like rivalry. Like, I've been taking notes on you getting beat down. I know how to beat you down now. Just wait for you not to be looking. Like, that's pretty much all your notes are going to consist of. Oh boy. Let me see here. Yeah. But after that whole segment, we got B Team in the ring, facing off against Heavy Machinery, and you got the Planet's champions, Daniel Bryan and you call his boyfriend on commentary, Eric Rowan. This was pretty good. I mean, the match itself was just like a squash match, but I like how they're setting it up. They're setting it up that Daniel Bryan doesn't respect Heavy Machinery because he thinks they don't take the match seriously, which honestly, if you look at those guys, that's the last thing you want them to come across as serious. Because those are some comedic dudes.
Yes,
oh my
yes,
God,
and they
man.
play it off well.
I love Otis, dude.
Yes.
I freaking loved Otis so much.
And Daniel Bryan is like, the way he talks shit, it puts you over. It makes people want to watch you. Like, that's what I caught out of the shit he was saying about Heavy Machinery. He's like, I wanted to watch them even more. Like, I really want to see them beat you now because you're sitting here talking shit in the way you're talking about them. I want to see Heavy Machinery take them belts. I really do.
It's good, man. He's good. He's good at getting intrigue on not just himself, but everybody involved in the program.
He's so talented, it's not even funny.
Yeah. The match is over within like 2 minutes with Heavy Machinery hitting the compactor. I like how they adjusted it. So what it is Otis gets a guy in a crossbody holding him while Tucky comes up behind him, kind of jumps on his back, and they both crush the guy. But after they crush, the impact bounces Tucky into the air where Otis rolls out the way, and he lands a secondary splash. I'm a huge fan of this move. It's pretty simple, but I like it, man. I think it's pretty interesting.
Exciting. It was my first time actually seeing it. It's exciting.
Yeah, man. Compact is gnarly, bro. But yeah, Heavy Machinery. They win the match, and that's pretty much it. After everybody exits scene, you got B Team laid out. Who comes out after saying that, anybody trying to get this damn special guest referee position? Seth Rollins comes out. He beats up the B Team. Wears the chair out on him. Kind of interesting that Shelton Benjamin didn't get the same treatment later. And then some other people, which we'll reveal, were talking about the position as well, which was kind of intriguing, but it's going to go nowhere. Outside, we see a limousine, and for a moment, I really was intrigued who was in the limo, and then common sense kicked in. It's Shane McMahon.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, because obviously he needs a grand entrance. At least it took him an hour to get him on screen this time. Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens are waiting for him outside. They confront him about Seth running wild with the chair. They also said, while we're at it with him, Kofi Kingston, he sucks too. So Shane's like, you know what? Fine. You guys can teach him a lesson. He sets up a 2 out of 3 falls tag match between Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn for the main event, I believe it is. The main event. Which, by the way, you notice like how this week they were just like, you know what we could use? Just extra stipulations. Yeah, 2 out of 3 matches on all of these things.
Right.
Which, to be fair, I don't mind it, though, because I think it was you were saying you wanted to see more gimmick matches.
Yes, but by gimmick matches, I mean like gimmick matches.
Table, you mean hardcore table matches.
Not like, matches. I mean, adding, you are right. It is a gimmick match, but it's just a gimmick match. It's a regular match times 2. You got to beat the guy twice. That's it.
Baby steps, all right? You got to do a couple 2 out of 3s.
Off rip, you get a pinfall. Okay. That's okay. Now it's a regular match for half of them.
Yeah, exactly. Whenever you get a pinfall in that opening 45 seconds, or in tonight's case, like the opening 10 seconds
before the bell even rang, the bell didn't even go off.
The shine off of it.
The bell or the bell guy screwed up.
Yeah, man, he wasn't quick enough.
Oh, it is what it is, though.
Yeah, we get Aleister Black, another one of his lame. I'm sorry to say, but lame promos.
They were cool at first, but yeah, now
they were all right. He's hit and miss. This week was a miss. Honestly, he said he was gonna. He said he understood why no one wants to pick a fight with him because they're destined to fail, and he's gonna change the essence of them. And this is getting borderline silly. Like nobody talks like this,
right?
You know, I mean, I'm all for having a character, you know, but no character even talks like this. I don't know, man.
I keep saying it. I'm literally the only. Apparently, I'm the only guy on the planet that wants it to happen. Everybody says, "Wait, I want it to happen right now," and it's the perfect setup. You have one guy doing nothing but telling somebody to knock on my door, and then you have another guy saying absolutely nothing but "let me in." Come on.
Right. You're right. I mean, it does kind of line up, man.
Like, it's there. I can see everybody's like, one of them will be damaged. One of them will be damaged down the road anyway when they fight each other. Just do it. Just do it.
Oh, my gosh.
But that's just me. I mean, I don't look at it from a who's going to be damaged perspective and how is it going to set up creative down the road. I look at it as I want to see it right now. Let him wrestle.
I got you, man. I totally got you. I get it. I don't want it to happen, but I see how it makes sense.
Nobody knocks on my door. Let me in.
That would be cool. It's just somebody come through my door. And
then you hear an actual knock, and then you hear "let me in." Like,
oh no!
And then it goes to black, and then the next week on Raw you have a surprise
don't
match.
even give us any action. Just have Aleister Black being like stretchered out in like a pool of blood, and that's it. That's it, man. Maybe have like the hurt glove from Bray Wyatt just left there. Like, oh. All right, anyways, enough fantasy booking. We'll get to that some other time. We're going to have to do a segment, one of these shows, where it's just like fantasy booking, you know, because it's kind of fun to think of.
Yes.
Next up is the obligatory, long, drawn-out, unnecessary, please get off my TV, Shane McMahon segment. And boy, this was a stinker. Shane comes out. He's flanked by Elias and Drew McIntyre, of course. Poor Drew. He's been henchman for like the last 4 or 5 people ever since he's gotten brought up. They get to the ring. They're pretty much just promoting Drew's match with Roman Reigns, even though the feud is really about Roman and Shane. Miz comes out, runs video package of Roman beating up Shane, and then Shane asks if Miz thinks it's funny. He's like, haha, no, but this is. And then he runs the same video, but in slow-mo. And I'm like, oh, man, I see what you're doing, but this is just.
I liked it.
You're slowing. You're just making Shane be on my screen longer by running it in slow-mo.
But you're making Shane finally take a spear in slow motion. All it needed was the fucking Titanic music.
They should have ran the segment from, I think, Survivor Series. Shane went for a coast-to-coast, and Roman hit him with a spear midair, and Shane got knocked the F out, dude. Like, legitimately knocked out. His kids were there watching, too. Oh, man, it was bad. But anyways, it makes me smile.
And then Miz says, here's another one, and Shane's like, no.
No more video packages.
If another video runs, the guy in the truck is fired. And Miz is like, chill out, you're just the boss's son.
Yeah, you don't fire people. Apparently, he's in charge of giving raises, though. I don't know.
Yeah, that's valid. Even though we can't hear when somebody's asking for a raise, and Cole has to ask for it. Yeah,
I do. I mean, I saw what they were doing with the Miz too, saying he created Shane the Monster too, like with his ego, and they go back to Super Showdown or the Saudi show where he won the best in the World Cup. And Miz is saying that Shane's whole inflated ego and all this is his fault. And the whole time I'm thinking, I'm like, dude, no, it's not. He is Vince McMahon's son. I was like, dude, you cannot be a McMahon and not have an inflated ego, no matter what, dude. But it all leads to a match. Shane says he's going to set up a tag match, which Miz interrupts him. He's like, oh, it's going to be a handicap? I think they had a miscue there because he definitely said tag match. But then Shane's like, no, it's going to be a tag match if you can find a partner in 10 seconds. And as he's counting down, they pan over to the other side of the ring. It's R-Truth, baby. You know what got me though was I was expecting they're setting up the match. Shane never suspended the rules though.
Yes.
So technically, when Truth got pinned, he should have lost his title when he got pinned.
That's in my notes. Why is Elias not the 24/7 champion?
Yeah, man. Because the last time they suspended the rules, why didn't everybody come down and jump him? You know,
right?
He had to at least announce the rules are suspended.
Now he did get jumped like after he got
after the match. But he didn't even really get jumped. They stole his belt.
They stole the belt. Who the hell took it and thought that all of a sudden they were the champ because
Shelton Benjamin had it, man.
Yes.
And they did cue the Benny Hill music. I'm sure someone's already done it on Twitter.
And then the ref's no, you got to pin him to take the belt. Meanwhile, Elias standing in the ring had just pinned him, but he doesn't have the belt.
How are you a professional wrestler and a referee has to explain how you win a championship belt? Whatever person ever thought.
With all due respect, he is in the loser's locker room and doesn't know how to win a championship.
Oh man, apparently, bro. I feel bad for him, man. I feel bad. This was silly, But you give it a pass because it's an R-Truth segment. While Shelton Benjamin is having the ref explain the rules, R-Truth snags the belt because he's not looking, takes off, and seemingly escapes for now. We didn't even talk about the match. We just thought about R-Truth there. We kind of just skipped ahead of the match. Before the match started, we got this segment because this answers a question that we've been asking, so we have to go over this. AOP, for one, exits Baron Corbin's office. Just gives a brief saying something relating to them possibly being the ref, one of them at least. But they're facing across from the Iconics. And then the camera follows the Iconics, which 5 foot down the hallway, we got the Kabuki girls. They're back. Our Kabuki warriors, excuse me. Damn Kabuki girls. But they're with Paige. Paige makes the announcement, though. Japan. Oh, now I got to watch the Tokyo show, bro.
Now, the Tokyo show, I didn't know it was a thing. Is that a special thing? I'm
pretty sure it's going to be a network special. It's not officially a pay-per-view. It's just
not a pay-per-view. And they're not doing Smackdown there or anything? Like
a aired house show.
Okay. So they're not, and they haven't promoted this at all, none whatsoever, and it's next week?
No, it's lightly promoted, but online, but it's not something they're promoting like the Saudi Arabia shows or anything like that.
Okay. Now I know we're not trying to
I haven't even heard word if it's even going to make air, but they did do
well, that leads me to my next question. Now, the way Paige kind of confused me on her wording. Are the tag titles on the line in Tokyo?
No, just the number one contender.
Okay, so basically, if the Kabuki girls want to be tag champs, they got to beat them twice.
Dude, why not make it for the championship?
Exactly.
In Tokyo, unless you intend them to lose the championship match. That's the only reason why.
A number one contenders match doesn't work when the match is against the champs. You have them face another contender, and then whoever wins gets a shot at the belts. That's how it works.
I know, man. What other combat industry can a champion have a match and then the belt not be on the line? You know what I mean? You never see that. In the most rare occasions, maybe a fighter misses weight, but they still do the fight anyways. But other than that, yeah, it's always a weird one whenever they say, "Oh, if you beat the champs, then you get a shot at the belt." It's no, if you're allowed to face the champs, the belts are on the line.
Valid.
Unless you have a world champion involved in a tag match or something, or you have the tag champions, but it's a 6-person tag match. You know what I mean?
Right.
But
basically, the belts should be on the line, but they are not.
If there's no difference in the rules of a championship match compared to the match you're having, the belt should be on the line. That's always bothered me too. It really has. But yeah, the only reason they're doing that is I think that reveals that the Kabuki girls are not getting their hands on those belts right away, because otherwise you'd put the belts on the line in Tokyo to pop that crowd. So that just tells me they're going to get the win in Tokyo, and then whenever they do go for the belts, for whatever reason, they're not going to get them. They're not going to get them, whether it's a straight up loss or shenanigans. But I did like though, however, Paige, Asuka, and Kairi Sane all doing the Iconics pose.
That was so excellent.
Yeah, and
it
then
was so good.
Billie Kay and Peyton Royce look disgusted to see them like getting mocked.
Like, oh man, Peyton and Kay, I love you guys, but you got.
Oh, it was so good. I loved it. I did. I mean, I liked it, man. I want to see the Kabuki girls more, man. They made them a team and then took them off the fucking TV for like.
I love the Iconics, but they've cooled themselves off. They've ruined them. Pass it on.
Yeah, man. They got to get some wins. Got to get some wins, man. No one wants to cheer for someone who loses all the time. You know, ask Kurt Hawkins. It's a struggle for that dude to get cheered. You know, but we get to the match, which is it's Miz and Elias and Drew McIntyre against Miz and R-Truth in a tag elimination match, meaning one member of the tag team gets pinned, they're out, and then the remaining tag partner is now in a handicap match. Well, it starts off with Miz and Elias. McIntyre gets tagged in, throws Truth halfway across the damn ring. The heels manage to isolate Truth. Shane attacks Miz from behind, allowing Elias to get the pin on a distracted R-Truth. At that point is when the whole Benny Hill stuff happens. Shelton Benjamin and the rest of the mid-card, they run down, they grab the belt, and then they just start doing laps around the ring. No one thought, because they're all chasing Shelton Benjamin, who's got the title, no one thought to run in the opposite direction. You know, so everyone's just like a long fucking snake, just going around the damn ring like 4 times. But we said it, yeah, the ref had to explain to Shelton that, no, you don't win a title by stealing it. R-Truth grabs the title. He takes off. At that point, mid-card chases him, and now it's got Miz facing off against both Elias and Drew McIntyre. Miz did put up a hell of a fight against Elias. First, I thought he was going to get a pin on him and get it like one-on-one, but at one point, Miz is sent into the ropes. McIntyre on the outside, being like 8 foot tall, is able to headbutt him from the ground, and then he comes in, gets the Claymore kick, all over 1, 2, 3. Miz is defeated. It's not enough for Shane though. He comes in, and like a true heel, he gets McIntyre to Claymore kick him 2 more times. Miz officially has brain damage.
Valid.
Yeah, those Claymore kicks look so nasty, dude. And they look like you have to be on your game to not hurt yourself when you're taking it. Both Drew and whoever's taking it, because like one miscalculation and you're eating like a fucking 300-pound boot to the
82.
dome. Oh my god, man. It looks scary, bro. It looks scary, especially if Drew nails it when the guy is supposed to not see it coming. Like they're supposed to just like turn into it out of the blue. That terrifies me. Like when he hit Roman with it the other week. Roman was coming down to the ring and Drew was off camera. He didn't even know he was out there. He hit Roman with a hell of a one on the outside, man. But apparently everyone's good, man. McIntyre must be a safe worker to be able to pull that off.
Right.
Backstage, we got Ember Moon. She runs into Carmella. These segments always make me laugh. Not so much the opening joke, because Ember Moon is like, have you seen Fire and Desire? Carmella's like, no. Have you seen Truth? And they're like, no. Carmella goes off camera. Then Ember Moon literally just walks like 10 feet. And there's Sonya Deville and Mandy Rose. I'm like, dude, I get it, but just because the camera can't see the person doesn't mean the wrestler shouldn't be able to see him either. Because they were not out of view
at all. They are.
You know what I mean? It's like you can't see unless the camera can see them. It's just like one of those tropes.
They're standing there eating donuts right in plain view.
Yeah, dude. It's like, how do you not see them? Like, or at least have Ember be like, oh my god, I'm so stupid. You guys are right here. Like, like at least acknowledge it. But the fact they have to play it off like, oh, I didn't see you clearly standing in the open eating donuts 5 feet from where I was just standing when I was looking for you. You know?
Close enough to smell said donuts.
Yeah. I can see the glaze. But Ember Moon, like a bullied kid who's just had enough, says she's not putting up with it anymore. She knocks the donuts out of their hands. She nails Mandy Rose. Then her and Sonya Deville, they get in a scuffle. And that's pretty much it. Refs come out, break it up. We don't have anything concrete, but it's probably safe to assume Ember Moon's got a match with Sonya Deville at Stomping Grounds. I wouldn't be surprised if that match gets made like on WWE.com or something.
At the pre-show.
You know? Yep. Then after that, that's when the night turns up right there. So everything from that point beforehand, it's kind of rough to get through. The last section of the night was easily the easiest to digest. Starts off with Firefly Funhouse, the same segment from Raw, so it's just the same one, but damn it if it ain't the creepiest one.
Yes.
And like I said, I want to see Bray Wyatt in like a slasher monster film now more than damn as like a new wrestler, you know? So I feel like a person as terrifying as that, there needs to be higher stakes than the guy's going to get pinned. Like the life needs to be on the line when you're facing the fiend,
he's getting hit with a chainsaw if he loses.
Like, Jesus Christ, something, man. But no, I can't knock Bray, man, or creative. I'm happy with what they're doing. I'm excited for it, no matter what. You know, he's scary as damn hell. But then we get the best moment, in my opinion, of the whole night. R-Truth trying to run to his Uber. Runs outside, runs past Carmella. Uber driver gets out. It's a ref. And Truth is like, you drive Uber too? And the ref was like, yeah, I do, I guess. And he turns around, and Carmella's shrunk about 8 inches. It ends up being Drake Maverick in drag. Hello, Truth. He slams him against the SUV. He rolls him up, gets his feet on the SUV. I'm happy he did that. He didn't just beat Truth with like a roll-up. He had to get a little extra.
He needed the leverage. I didn't see this. Yeah. I was out of the room. I walked in as like the SUV was driving away.
It was so good, dude.
So I didn't get to see it.
The reveal of Maverick in drag, because I saw Carmella as he was walking out. I saw him. You know what I mean? It wasn't like he was off camera.
Right.
Truth just ran right by. And the camera pans back to him, and that's when you notice, like, oh shoot, that's Drake Maverick in drag. He pulls out his fake boobies, you know, and takes off the wig.
Truth is even like, Carmella's getting married? I wasn't even invited.
Yeah. So yeah, after he pins Truth, he takes the belt. He steals the ref's SUV. I guess really, like in canon, that really did belong to the ref. The ref's like, that's my car. And he says, I'll pay you back. I'm getting married as the champion. And I love Truth's reaction because even losing the belt, you know, he
drops jokes.
He's like, I didn't know Carmella's getting married. And why didn't she invite me? That's what upset him, dude. Drake Maverick is the damn new 24/7 champion, which is good. I should have watched 205 Live to see if if Truth got him back. I wonder. I doubt it.
No, I think if he did, we'd have seen it on Twitter for sure.
It'd probably have to be on SmackDown. But either way, it's nice to see it get on Drake, because if there's anybody that's been just as funny in this whole thing, it's been Drake Maverick. So I'm happy for the guy. Yeah, man. But we got the main event. What'd you think of the main event? You saw it, right?
I was half in and half out. I won't lie.
Half in it. Yes. I don't blame you, buddy.
I was sleepy, and then I was getting ready for our recording, so it was kind of in the back.
And then I woke you up. I was like, no, man, this is your return, man. We need some energy. Right.
I mean, I woke up. Don't get me wrong. Once we start talking, I'm okay. But like, when I'm just sitting there.
Yeah. Main event was pretty good. It was nothing crazy, but it did allow Kofi and Seth Rollins time to shine, which they need to shine. Just as soon as you say the bell hadn't even rang yet. I thought the bell rang. I'd have to go back and see it.
Well, like, I heard Kevin Owens saying the bell hadn't rung yet. And then I seen somebody complaining about it on Twitter that the bell hasn't rung yet.
Okay, so maybe it didn't.
That's where I can't vouch, but I can say that 2 sources told me it didn't ring. One of them was in the ring.
I'll throw on Hulu when we're done with the thing. But anyways, the match started. Kofi runs straight across the ring, hits Trouble in Paradise on Sami Zayn instantly. Like, no scuffle, nothing. Just straight Trouble in Paradise, bam, pinfall. Kofi and Seth Rollins are up 1-0 in this 2 out of 3 falls. Bell rings. Honestly, I didn't really see anything too big a note other than the match really favored the faces here. Like, normally when it's face and heel, the heel beats up the face for the majority of the time, and then the face squeaks out the win. Now, man, like, Rollins and Kofi were fairly dominant most of the match, and it ultimately ended with Rollins having a good back and forth with KO, but eventually delivering the stomp. Got the 1, 2, 3. Then you had both Universal and WWE Champion celebrating in the ring. It was nice. Like I said, it kind of just topped off the previous 2 segments with Truth losing the 24/7 championship in the Firefly Funhouse. It felt like we just had like a nice coast to what other was a pretty mediocre SmackDown. So that was nice. I appreciated it. Pretty good, man. Overall, SmackDown was somewhere in the middle. Some people might say it kind of stunk. Me, I liked the ending, and that kind of helped my overall opinion. But Raw was the clear winner between the 2 shows this week.
Yes, SmackDown wasn't bad. I mean, it takes a lot for me to think it's bad.
Yeah,
but
it just didn't feel like a go-home show. You know, you got to have big stuff happening.
There's a pay-per-view
on the show
Sunday,
before the pay-per-view.
You don't even have your fans hyped for it. Like, I seen a couple tweets saying that, like, people legit forgot there was a pay-per-view Sunday. And I see that. Like I couldn't even tell you the card right now. Like, I mean, other than the fact that Lacey's, like, fighting Becky, I know that. Bayley is fighting Alexa, I know that. But that's really about it. Like, I don't know the rest of the card. They're not pushing it.
Well, let's see here. We got through the recap.
I said Alexa and my freaking Echo Dot went off.
Oh, by the way, really quick while I'm looking this up, I saw right here. So, yeah, Maverick kept that belt past 205 Live. I'll see if you can pick up the audio on this while I'm looking up the card. Here.
Did you know that you're talking to the new WWE 24/7 champion? Do you know that you are 24/7? Food to the new WWE 24/7. You gotta get me in. I'm the 24/7 champion. Yeah. I am the 24/7.
He's just bragging to a bunch of random people.
Ma'am, you are checking in the WWE.
Oh, it's cutting out.
24/7 champion with Claire.
It's just him, like, it's clips throughout his in LA going to LAX, and he's just going up to random people. Like, you aware you're talking to the champ?
That's great.
Oh, it's awesome, man. Yeah, I guess if there was someone that could follow up R-Truth, you know, or at least trade the belt off and keep the momentum, Drake Maverick seems like a great candidate.
I agree.
So, really quick, we don't have to put too much thought because it doesn't seem like there was much thought into this pay-per-view, but we might as well do what everyone else does and get some predictions going. So I'll run our card down as I name off the match. We'll just, off the top of our head, we'll pick who we think's going to win, okay? And then if we have anything we want to comment past that, we will. And then we'll jump into questions. So I'm seeing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 matches. Pretty heavy card here, surprisingly. And we only know probably off our top of our head, what, like 3, 4?
That's really about it.
Yeah. So I don't know if these are in order of how the card's going to take place, but I'm just going to read them in order that they're on the website. And I'm reading Bleacher Report if anyone's interested where my source is. First match, Raw Women's Championship match between Becky Lynch and Lacey Evans. Who you got?
Lacey Evans.
I got Becky Lynch.
Now, I will fire off the top of my head. Good night, little girl. I love you. I will fire off the top of my head that, well, the rest I'll fire off the top of my head. But this one, I really do want Lacey Evans to win the belt. I have fallen in love with Lacey Evans. I really have.
Yeah, by all means, man. By all means. I'm not rushing
isn't
you.
Very good, but I think it's getting there. I think her Her character is amazing. She's the heel, and I don't always like to be the heel. I don't like to be the guy against everybody else. But in this case, I really like Lacey Evans. Now, I don't think she's going to win the belt. Now, sources point to, timing points to, history points to, she's not going to win the belt. It's not time for her to win the belt. But Vince McMahon could pull the trigger and be like, screw it, let's give it a shot. Let's see what happens with ratings if she wins the belt. So, I think she could. I think it's a possibility. Dude, gun to my head, yes or no? No, she's not going to win the belt. Thinking that she could, maybe. Vince might say screw it, pull the trigger. Yes, I think she could win the belt. So my answer is I want Lacey to win, but my actual prediction would be Becky Lynch. But I want Vince to say...
we both think Becky's going to win.
Yes.
You're just making it known you want Lacey.
Yes. Like somebody on Twitter asked me earlier, do you actually think Lacey's going to win? And as a joke, I put define win in quotations.
She'll win the crowd over.
Yeah. She'll have louder entrance music. I mean.
All right. Next matchup, the WWE cage match. Our WWE Championship cage match: Kofi Kingston, Dolph Ziggler.
Kofi Kingston all day. They're not going to book, even with card changing. They're not going to book that 2 months down the road if Kofi's going to lose.
Yeah, and since there's no DQ stipulation, you can't have a wife in it. You can't have Ziggler win but Kofi retain. Kofi has to win.
Right.
United States Championship match: Samoa Joe against Ricochet.
Samoa Joe. It's not time for Ricochet.
Yeah. You know what? I'm going to go Ricochet just because they are so apprehensive about keeping a belt on Joe. They give him belts, but then they make him lose it right away. So for that reason, I'm going to go with my boy Ricochet.
Word.
Smackdown Women's Championship, Bayley versus Alexa Bliss.
Bayley.
You going Bayley? I am going Alexa Bliss with this one because they like to have the belt on her as often as possible. She's kind of like Charlotte, man. They like having a belt on her.
Valid.
Universal Championship match. I think we both know who we're going to pick here. Seth Rollins versus Baron Corbin.
Baron Corbin.
Baron Corbin,
Seth
right?
Rollins. Seth Rollins.
I'm glad we both thought the same on that one. Seth Rollins, yeah, man. Dude, oh my God. I will live stream my reaction to reading Twitter if Baron Corbin wins that belt.
I'll delete my Twitter account. I won't even go on there. I don't want to see it. I want to see.
I want to see. Oh my God. SmackDown Tag Team Championship match: Daniel Bryan and Rowan against Heavy Machinery.
I want the Usos to win.
Usos aren't even in it.
I don't care. I want them to somehow win. Oh, Daniel Bryan and Rowan are going to win that.
Yeah, one. Same here, man. Same here. Heavy Machinery is too much of a funny tag team. But then again, we've seen worse tag teams get those belts. So
Daniel Bryan's too much of a... But what word am I looking for? He is...
It's too big a deal.
He's a fucking... That's it. That's exactly it. He's a fucking
world
presence.
Champion, bro. He is a bona fide superstar.
Yes, he does well with a belt around him. As much as I hate the heel Daniel Bryan, he does what he does well.
Okay, so I know you probably won't any of these three guys, so I'll try to give them as generic and probably terrible descriptions for you to pick off the winner for this. It's the Cruiserweight Championship match against the winner, Mr. 16-pack Tony Nese, versus loud shouting Asian Akira Tozawa versus Mr. PowerPoint Drew Gulak.
Buddy Murphy.
Tony Nese, Mr. 18-pack Tony Nese is the champion. Buddy Murphy's not in it.
He should be.
Yeah, I know. But you got Tony Nese, Akira Tozawa, and Drew Gulak.
Drew Gulak, because that's a sick name.
Nice. I really want to go with Gulak, too. I'm going to go with Tozawa. I don't watch 205 Live, man, but I have a feeling I'm about to. I'm about to start watching it. Yeah, starting next week, man. Would have had to watch it today, but unfortunately we had to delay Benji's debut. I think he had I think it says work. He said he works, I guess, at a hospital, which can mess with his schedule.
Word, yeah, that makes sense.
And then finally, we've got oh, no, not finally. Apparently, no. This match must have been just made. Tag match. Xavier Woods and Big E of the New Day facing off against Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn.
Really? That's a match? Ooh, I don't know, man. You think New Day's going to win, but he could pull the trigger and have Zayn and KO go over.
Right.
Ooh.
Or just like give Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn a couple like a win back because they've been kind of a punching bag.
Right, exactly. Like,
Yeah.
But then again, if New Day loses, that reflects onto your world champion because
Not so much.
you still have them glued together. In my opinion, like I see Xavier and Big E, even if Kofi's not around, I still see Kofi Kingston. They're a thing.
Yeah.
They're a trio.
It's true.
I'll say New Day for that reason right there.
New Day. Okay. Right. And then our main event, Roman Reigns against Drew McIntyre. No title on the line here. It's crazy. The Universal Championship match and the WWE Championship match are both. Neither of them are main eventing the pay-per-view.
Apparently, Roman Reigns is bigger than the belt.
Apparently. I mean, this is according to Bleacher Report. You know what I mean? The card could be rearranged, but I mean, according to Bleacher Report...
It makes sense because you got Shane pushing his boy Drew to fight Roman Reigns. I mean, but I will say, I don't know, they had Reigns lose to Shane McMahon, so now we know that he is no longer invincible. He could very well lose. I'm going to say McIntyre.
You going to say McIntyre? I'm going to say Roman... Just because you can never, it's like John Cena. You can never go against Roman. All right, Rob. Oh, cool. You know what? I love it when we have a pay-per-view that we do predictions and we don't have the same answers. Let's see, because we actually only agree on 1, 2, 3, 4 out of the 9 matches. Nice.
You know how hard I'm gonna mark out if Lacey wins the belt.
If Lacey wins, I'll be there for you
so
too.
hard.
I'll feel good. I'll feel happy for you.
I want it so bad. Like I said, I don't think it's going to happen, but I want it. Oh, I want it so bad. I really do.
All right, so there's our official predictions for WWE Stomping Grounds. Before we go off the air, let's go ahead and try and answer some of these questions we didn't get to last night.
Yes.
Because Rob has a life that starts earlier than pretty much anybody else I know.
And I also, if anybody out there knows, I play Destiny. So, like, I have to play Destiny. And it's because Destiny takes time, and if you fall behind, like you're done. Like it's bad. It's terrible.
Let me see here.
So we are going to fire through these fairly quick.
All right, I'll take the first one just because it just popped up. From our boy Benji, from the newest member of the Smackdown podcast. What do y'all think about the character angle they are taking with Aleister Black, sitting in the dark, begging for a fight? And who does Bray Wyatt end up facing if he debuts in our lifetime? So it's kind of like a two questions.
You can answer both of these for me.
Rob's is going to combine. Yeah, I know
my answer.
He likes it, and they're going to fight each other. You know, just
that's it.
My answer. I'll keep mine short and sweet. I know I try to get philosophical with all of my wrestling questions, but not a fan of the Aleister Black. I don't know how I would book it right now. I'm sure if you gave me some time, I'd think of something. But off the top of my head, not a fan of what they're doing with him. Bray, I would like to see instantly put into title match. Like, I'd like to see him terrorizing the champion, whether it be Kofi or Seth Rollins. I'd love to see that. Just instantly propel him to the belt while the iron's hot. You know what I mean?
Right. He's already over because of Firefly.
Exactly. So just freaking just pull the trigger with him right away and let it run, you know. Let it run.
When he shows up, that's going to be the biggest pop they've had in years.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that reminded me, too. Back to the predictions really quick, because this seems to be, like, one of the biggest things. Does Bray Wyatt debut at the pay-per-view, yes or no?
No. He's not ready.
I'm going to say no.
It would be, if he did, it would be unexpected, but it doesn't fit. Like, I don't view stuff as if it fits or not. Like, I'm sure you guys have noticed like that about me, but that, like, even in my head, just doesn't fit.
Because if he doesn't debut, you don't want him to debut on Raw SmackDown. Personally, I wouldn't care.
Valid.
You know? But if he doesn't debut at this pay-per-view, we got to wait, like, another, like, 3 or 4 weeks.
No, the next one's, well, maybe it is 3 or 4 weeks. July 14th, I think it was. July-ish.
I don't even know what the next pay-per-view is, to be fair.
They said what it was, and the only reason, like, I remember is because they were pushing You can get a month for free if you're a new subscriber, and you get both pay-per-views. If like you were to do it yesterday, you would get both pay-per-views because they're only a couple weeks apart.
Yeah.
It's July. It's early July. I know that much.
Let's see. You got Stomp.
July
Ground.
12th. No, 14th. Yeah, July 14th.
June 3rd. July 14th. The reason why that's actually kind of like a cool thing is Philly is the home of ECW. And if you're going to have like an extreme pay-per-view, you might earn you some good street cred. So that's okay. Okay. Well, anyways, if he doesn't debut now, we'd be looking at 3 more weeks potentially for him to debut. I'm going to say no because Extreme Rules probably makes more sense.
Valid. All right, so you kind of started cutting out. I don't know if you're Ethan.
You said no, Rob, or yes?
Yeah, my answer is no. My answer is definitely no.
You said no? Say yes. You keep cutting out. Every time you say an answer, you cut no.
No, yeah, our connection's getting bad right now.
It's all good. It's all good. It happens.
Yeah, buddy. Okay,
you cut in and out. It literally just the one syllable it keeps cutting out on was whenever you answered me.
The answer is negative. He does not debut. No. No. Okay, next question.
Yep.
Is from our boy AJ at the Backstreet Bookers.
All right.
Since we don't know who the special guest referee for Rollins Bourbon will be, who do you think it will be?
Yeah, that's right. We'll both take a stab at it, and then I'll put it in the predictions. I mean, the internet seems to say Brock Lesnar, but I don't see it being Brock.
That's my call. I say Brock
Lesnar. You're going to say Brock? Okay.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense. He's a ref. He could cash in and count for himself. First cash in ever where he counted for himself. Like
that would be so funny. I'm cashing in. 1, 2, 3.
Right, exactly. Like, I'd be down for it. I'd be real down for it. But even if it's not for a cash in, it makes so much sense for Brock to be the referee.
I hear what you're saying. Rob says Brock
Lesnar.
Yeah, Brock Lesnar. Trying to think, it's against Baron Corbin. God dang it, dude, it's so hard. Brock is like one of the only huge names because anybody else, it'd be like, why is that a big deal?
Exactly. It's got to be Brock. I mean, it absolutely has to be.
I don't want to agree with you.
And they're gonna they're all about getting them pops. We're not gonna know the answer until match time.
Exactly. Yeah.
And then all
exactly.
of a sudden,
it's
Brock's
gonna be
music
like a
is gonna hit. Boom! There it is. There's your pop. He's your referee, and then you have everybody the entire match wondering, is he going to cash in?
It makes sense. I want to say Lars Sullivan, but he's injured. That's why he wasn't on Raw, by the way. He's out with an injury.
Good. Stay. Hopefully.
Oh, Jesus.
Hopefully
he recovers.
Hopefully he recovers, but Vince does what he does with his superstars.
Hopefully while he's injured, they develop a better character for him.
Okay, I'll give you that one.
Yeah. Oh, damn it. I don't know, man. I'm going to say just to effing who. So it's Baron Corbin against Seth Rollins. Who does Seth have a vendetta against? Who has he done wrong in the past? Oh, man. I don't even know. I'm going to say Shane. I'll say Shane McMahon. Whatever. I know I'm wrong, but I don't want to drag on all night thinking about it. I should have thought about it more.
So I'll jump right into the next question because it ties in. Wild Will, 1972. So what would you think if Brock Lesnar was the special guest referee and he cashed in on the winner?
Okay, I see what you're talking about here, Mr. Wild Will. He says it'd be pretty good. I mean, yeah. I mean, from a story standpoint, it'd be super advantageous for him. It'd get him as close to that title as he could be without getting hit. But here's the thing that wouldn't make sense, and this is my only gripe with it, and then really you could make it for any other special guest referee, is how do you keep Seth from not disqualifying himself? If he realizes the odds are like severely stacked against him, what keeps him from just hitting the ref, like whoever it is, and just getting himself disqualified? He's not really feuding with Shane or authority figures where they'll say no DQ to take it out on him. But besides that logic, from a story standpoint, yeah, it would make sense. Brock helps Seth lose. Baron Corbin wins, gets the Universal title, gets everyone booing.
Brock
and then Brock smashes him. Yeah, because it's the same story. You're just taking out, instead of Shane McMahon, what you mentioned on Raw's thing, you're just replacing that with Baron Corbin, and you get the same effect.
Yeah, I'm mad that Baron Corbin won. I hate Brock Lesnar, but I hate Baron Corbin more.
I hate Corbin more. Yeah, I get it. I mean, I don't hate it, and like I said, I like things to make sense, so I can't complain too much about it. And to be fair, I wouldn't know who I would put as the special guest referee. I sat and thought about it for a good couple minutes.
There's really nobody.
It's really, it's hard. And unless it's just somebody at random to help build the faction with Baron Corbin, like to build something for the future. But for any pieces that are already in place, nothing really makes sense. Let me see. I'll answer the next one. That guy didn't even ask a question. He just says he doesn't listen to us. Wow, thank you.
That guy, he was bashing Raw and SmackDown too, so I just
I didn't know. He wasn't being mean. He wasn't being mean.
No, he wasn't being mean in our thread. It was a different thread. He's like, I quit cold turkey. I don't watch Raw no more. All right, cool, bro. I mean, cool.
Stopped watching. Oh, okay. I thought he meant he stopped watching us. Be like, damn, bro.
No. Wait, maybe it was this thread. I don't know, but yeah.
Now that I'm reading it, I thought it was just like. I'll have a listen. I don't know what happened.
Yes, and stop watching. Yeah, he told me earlier in the day that he stopped watching Raw.
I got you.
Like cold turkey, he just stopped.
All right, Dick Hammerbush 4 has got a question for us. He says, do you think that once Vince is not in control, that the day of WWE exclusive contacts... Did we do this yesterday?
No, you're good. Keep going. We're good.
Oh, okay. So the day of WWE exclusive contracts are done with, would Triple H allow their superstars to appear at Ring of Honor or smaller indie shows? He goes on to say that he would say that Trips has a better relationship with the wrestling community than Vince. Well, duh.
My answer is no. Like, WWE has a history of not doing that, and it would not make any sense for Triple H to say, I'm going to share my talent.
There's two ways you could look at it. From a fan-pleasing perspective, yeah, it would be to see WWE playing ball with the little people, but you got to think of the other perspective.
There's not enough people in the WWE universe to notice if they share their talent.
Well, not only that, it's Vince is the end-all, be-all of creative, but overall direction that the company goes, there's more hands in that than just Vince. Like the creative aspect, yeah, Vince McMahon is the one filter. So what you're seeing story role-wise, that you can put on a lot of it, if not most of it, on Vince. But as far as like what WWE does as a company and rules and regulations, there's more people than just Vince. Like, I promise you, it wasn't just Vince saying we're going to Saudi Arabia. There's shareholders, there's contracts, there's a legal team that are all also involved. And I believe it wouldn't be so easy to lend your talent to other promotions. I just see it too messy. There's too many things that could go wrong, and so I think what they'll do is there's other promotions that are under the WWE banner. I want to say Progress is one. I can't recall. But WWE owns a couple smaller promotions. And I think, other wrestlers can go there, on excursion and do little stuff and pop up. But as far as just like promotions they have no affiliation with, no. They're not going to go show up on New Japan. They're not going to show up on Ring of Honor.
Nope.
Not unless there is a working relationship, which they never will be a working relationship unless WWE owns you.
Right.
So I'm going to say
I don't see it ever happening. Ever. It's never been a thing, and it never will be.
As nice as it, look at AEW. They're not doing it. AEW's sticking to their guns too. That's why John Moxley's not in that tournament on the U.S. shows, and it's because he's contracted to AEW, and they say, you can do other promotions, But as far as big promotions go, do them overseas. You know, here in the States, this is our home. This is going to be your home. And so that's why he's not in the G1 Climax American shows. He'll do them over in Japan, you know. And AEW is beloved by a lot of people already. But even they, you know, you got to stick up for what's yours, you know. And it's just the way of the world, man. I think that's it for questions, man.
That's it.
Yeah, man. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for submitting these questions yesterday. We had a lot of fun. Make sure to check out our 205 Live and NXT recap next week. Unfortunately, we wanted it this week. Can't do it. Next week, we should have our debut episode. We may have a guest. I think Benji was talking about getting a guest on our second episode, so I don't know how that's going to work out. But make sure to give us a listen. Otherwise, you can catch us back here next Wednesday and Thursday when we launch our Raw and SmackDown recaps. Oh, shoot, Rob, we forgot to say. We got to do a recap for Stomping Grounds, right?
Yes. Yeah. We'll probably, like I said, I'm not trying to record like a lot. I have a busy life.
I know.
We will mix it in with Raw.
Would you be opposed to me finding a partner or just?
I mean, if you want to do it, by all means. Like by all means.
Okay.
Like I'll be. You're more serious about this stuff than I am. I'm doing it like I'm good where I'm at.
Well, if you want to,
I
never
want
to take our baby from my colleague, my 50% partner. I'm not making those decisions without your green light. Well, yeah. Right. So I'll find a partner, or I'll just record a solo one for Stomping Grounds. It's not even gonna be a big pay-per-view, but I'll record it and hopefully we'll have it up Monday. But man, thank you guys for listening, man. Once again, I'm Kai Tai Show. Rob, you can let them know who you are, where they can follow you.
2 words, can't see me.
Sweet, man. Y'all have a good one.
I'm always trying to come up with new acts, and like one I came up with yesterday, I might try to change it, is Rob Roode says suck it.
Damn it, Rob. We need some continuity, damn it.
I'm just not happy with my ad. It was cool when I made it, but I don't know, man. Whatever.
All right, bye, folks.
Thank you guys for listening. Yeah, buddies.